Focus, focus.
Everyone focus.
Today is kind of just a speed review day. We're going through and we're doing 6 practice problems that are word problems with a bar graph. 6 practice problems that are with a line plot. And that's it. That's all we have. Then we're going to do some homework and remembering. Possibly only remembering if we're really focused. Right? And then we can move into science. So I only need your focus literally only for 12 problems. Are you ready?
Yep.
We're going to start with the bar graphs. And I'm going to use my randomizer to see who is paying attention. We're ready to rock and roll here. So this is my bar graph. This bar graph is a little bit odd because instead of just giving us a bar graph with the title and stuff, they give us some background information. Does anybody want to read this loud and proud for me? Savannah?
5
Teams?
of students are riding their bikes after school. They raise money for the computer lab. Every completed mile will earn the computer lab $2. The bar graph below shows the number of miles completed in 1 week.
So the reason they give us that background information is because this graph only shows us how many miles they're riding each day, which ends up telling us how many miles they rode for the entire week. The extra information that we have to keep in mind from up here is that each mile that they ride earns $2. So it's a fundraiser. So if they went 5 miles, we would multiply it by 2, and how much money did they earn? $10. If they rode 10 miles, we would multiply that by 2. How much money would that be? $20. So it's just something that you have to keep in the back of your mind, that to figure out how much money they earned, you would times by 2, right?
0.
Yes, sir.
I heard this in your class, so I know the answers. This one has like
That's fine. There's lots of questions. I bet you don't have them all memorized. So we're going to be ready to answer some questions here, starting with numero uno. How much money was earned for the computer lab on Tuesday? So again, from your chart, you can tell how many miles they rode, but you need to multiply by 2 to figure out how much money. And money, my label would probably be dollars. Let's see. Mr. Thorne, the randomizer selected you. How much money did they earn on Tuesday? Well, they rode 80 miles.
But how much money did they make?
It's 80 plus 80.
Oh. So if they rode 80 miles, and each mile is worth $2, 160. Good, Riley, give us a point. What do you say?
Oh, yeah.
For the next one, if I've got blurters, we don't get the points, capiche? All right, listen for this next one here. Numero dos. How many fewer miles were completed on Monday than on Friday? Now, I did want to show you guys a quick trick for this. We've done comparison bars in the past, but when it's bar graphs in particular, I like to do this. I like to start either at Monday and count up to Friday, or start at Friday and count back. And I would just know, bless you, that these lines, every other one is labeled as a 20, so I know every line is counting by 10. So you can literally start at Monday and count up to Friday. And I would go, here's 10, 20, 30, 40. So there's 40 miles difference in here. The question is, how many fewer miles were completed on Monday than on Friday? Landon, what would your answer be? How many fewer miles were ridden on Monday than on Friday?
Uh,
40 miles. Very good. Landon, give us a point. What do you say?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. No flirts on that, but we still got it. Make sure you're sitting up, guys. Numero tres. Here's one that'll take you a little longer. If you need your marker to add up these facts, you can, because it says how many miles did they ride in all? How many miles did they ride in all? When you have this one solved, you can put your hand on your head to show me that you got it. Let's see. I'm watching
How
two of my
many money?
speedy mathematicians. How many miles did they ride in all? How many do you think this is? Nope. Double check. That's too much. Oh, there's some more up here. But if you want to add to the back end, it's the extra lock one. It's the last one with no name on it. Just the plant.
Monday seems like it's 60, but then it seems like it's 80.
So if it's in between 60 and 80, how much would it be? Right in between 60 and 80 would be... mm, 40, 60, 80. Let's count by 10. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60.
I have my
Yep.
It's
What's right in between 60 and
390.
80? Nope. Ooh, close. Check again. You're a little off. I think you forgot to add Wednesday.
Oh, I forgot it.
Nope. All of them all together.
I forgot it at 60, so. What? 450. 450.
It's close.
450. 450. Yeah, 450. It's 450.
Oh boy, I think we're all getting a little bit off, so let's stack them up together. Are you ready? First of all, who can tell me how many miles they rode on Monday? Maddie.
70.
You're not Maddie. How many miles did they ride on Monday, Maddie? 70, right? Because it's right in between 60 and 80. So we can do 70 plus, how many did they ride on Tuesday? Brielle? Miles. How many miles? 80 on Tuesday. How many did they ride on Wednesday, Jade?
On Wednesday, they were 40, and I also know the answer.
Oh, keep it in your brain for now. How many miles did they ride on Thursday, Ellie? 100. So one thing to check here is make sure when you ride 100 that your one is over and everything's lined up on the right. How many did they ride on Friday, Landon?
100.
Ooh, not quite to 120. So it's in between 110 and 120, or excuse me, it's in between 100 and 120, which would be, what would it be, guys? 110, so let's add these up quick. 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 is...
0.
These ones I like to pair up. I know that 4 and 1 makes 5, and 7 and 8 makes 15, so 15 plus 5 is 20. Plus my 0, carry my 2. 2 plus 1 is... So now I'm looking... Now I'm looking for a mathematician who uses GTA that can tell me how many miles did they ride in all. Jane? 400. 400 miles, very good.
Then that means
Erase. This is actually an added challenge they don't have in the book. Who can tell me, if they rode 400 miles, how much money did they earn for the entire week? How much money did they earn for the whole week? I better use my randomizer here. Addison, if they rode 400 miles, how much money did they earn for the whole week? $2 a mile.
What is 400 times, 400 plus 400? 400 plus 400.
800 dollars. Nice work. You can give us a point. What do you say?
Oh yeah.
Alrighty. Here's my next challenge. Did the students ride more miles on Monday and Wednesday combined? Or Thursday? Did they ride more on Monday and Wednesday combined? So that's my stars. Or on Thursday? My box. Yes, Jade, I never let you add your point. You can put that one up there for me. Which one did they ride more on, Monday and Wednesday combined, or Thursday? See who can solve this one at their desks. Oh, thanks. Monday and Wednesday combined, or Thursday on its own? Which one was more? Monday and Wednesday, the two star ones, or Thursday box day? And then think about it. Their question was, did they ride more on Monday and Wednesday combined, or on Thursday? Think about how you would write that answer instead of just telling me mile amounts, right? What? There's no. Some of the weird ones. Some of the weird ones. Red. Nice. Sometimes people do that as fundraisers. People like sponsor them.
Yeah, but like deal work.
Tootsie Rolls.
We were talking, now we stop.
My randomizer, actually, I did it before this problem, and it was Miss River.
Yay.
Did they ride more on Monday and Wednesday combined, or on Thursday, River?
Monday, Wednesday, combined.
Good. How many miles did they ride on Monday and Wednesday combined?
110 miles? Yep.
Bingo. How many? Uh-oh. How many did they ride on Thursday?
100.
100. Very good. Next problem.
Well,
Next problem. Next problem. Let's see.
if it was Friday, then
Remember, I told you, you only have to be focused for 6 practice problems. Be ready. Be ready. There are 4 riders on each of the 5 teams. If each student completed the same number of miles, how many miles did each student ride on Wednesday? Man, that was a lot. So they're talking about Wednesday. And they're saying that there are 4 riders on each team. There are 5 teams. How many miles did each student ride on Wednesday? Oh man. If there's 4 riders, 4 groups of, actually it's 5 groups of 4, huh? So think about how many total bikers there are, and together they rode 40 miles. How many did each student ride? That's kind of a 2-stepper. There's 5 groups of 4 riders total. So you figure out how many riders there are. Then take the number of miles that they biked together and divide it by that number of students.
I don't get it.
Think, how many miles did each student ride?
Easy peasy.
Let's see. First of all, if each team has 4 students and there's 5 teams, how many total students are there, friends? 5 groups of 4, or 5 times 4 is 20. So you're saying there's 20 kids. 20 students, and all together they rode 40 miles. You have to figure out how many miles each kid rode then. So 40 divided by 20. How many groups of 20 will go into 40? Think about that one.
It's simple.
Alrighty, class.
Yes.
I saw a lot of smart work. We took those 40 total miles, divided by the 20 students. When I drop my hand, you can tell me your answer, but don't forget your label. A lot of you didn't have it written down. So think, if my question is, how many miles did each student ride? The answer would be...
2 miles. 20 miles.
Oh boy, think again. Look at your work. Oh, think, don't shout. There were 40 total miles. If you're counting by 20s, because there's 20 kids, 20, 40. How many count bys did it take?
2.
So your answer is 2 miles. Nice work. Erase. We're going to start doing some practice problems with the line plot now. That means we're halfway through. We only have 6 more practice problems until your workshop time. Are you ready?
Yes, we are.
Nope, there were 6 for each. 12 total practice problems.
Riley, look.
Alrighty. Yes, ma'am.
I did it differently and I got the same answer.
How did you solve?
I did 2 times 2 is 4, so it's 4 minus 2 is 2, so
So you kind of ignored the zeros. I did that too. Did anybody else solve by ignoring the zeros and then plugging it back in?
this
Yeah,
is like
it kind of helps
Velcro.
our brain sometimes. Smart thinking.
Why is this like Velcro?
Alrighty. Read along with me, please. It says, the physical fitness coach. Is it too tiny?
No, the physical fitness.
My friends in the back, can you read it?
200.
Let me try. I'm going to zoom in on that first, and then I'll show you the line plot. Are you ready?
Yes, we are.
The physical fitness coach asked her students to walk around the track
4 times.
4 laps equal.
1 mile.
She recorded their times on the line plot below. All right. So we should probably think about what the most key information from that was. Who thinks they heard something that we should remember for this chart? Skylar, what do you think?
4 laps equal 1.
Okay, so instead of keeping those words up, I'm just going to remind you guys here. 4 laps
Equals 1 mile.
equals 1 mile. Okay? So keep that in mind as you hear these questions. I got 6 more challenge questions. So sit up. Show me that you're ready to learn. You never know if the randomizer's going to choose you. You
There's
ready?
6 more people that can get choose.
It is. Alrighty. Well, and sometimes it repeats. The first one is, what is the difference between the greatest and the least amount of time that it took students to walk 4 laps? So the longest it took anybody is 18 minutes. The fastest anyone completed it was 13 minutes. What's the difference between those 2 amounts of time?
5.
What is the difference between the greatest, the longest it took anyone was 18 minutes, the fastest it took anyone was 13 minutes? What's the difference, or thinking mathematically, if you subtract those numbers, how much time is there in between that fastest time and slowest time? Mr. Bird, what do you think?
5 minutes.
5 minutes. What do you guys think? Do you agree? Are you thinking something different? I see kind of halves and halves. Skylar, can you explain how you got your answer for us?
Because there was 5 minutes. Actually, no. It's 2.5.
You're correct, actually. You are correct.
Oh, because you start at the 13 and then the 18 minus 5 is 13.
Bingo. He says 18 minus 5 is 13. Class, class. Clase.
C.
For this one, the only thing that matters about the dots is making sure there is a dot there. So we're not going to subtract 18 minus 0 because did any students complete it in 0 minutes?
No.
No.
That's
The fastest time that anybody completed it in was 13 minutes, which this person must be a crazy fast student because look at that compared to our other times, right? This student completed it 5 minutes faster than the one student that took 18 minutes. My next question is, how many students did the coach record times for? How many students? Well, don't raise your hand yet. You can't count them that speedy. How many students were timed for this mile? This mathematician, when I call on you, I want you to tell me your answer and explain how you found it. How many students had their times recorded for this mile?
It's under 30 and above 20 minutes, I think. It's way more than 20. There's way more than 20, Gunner. Well, there's 9 more than 20. Okay.
Miss Jade, what do you think? How many students were recorded for running a mile? Do you know it, or do you want to phone a friend, or do you need a minute? What's that? Need a minute? All right. Who can remind us how we would figure out how many students were recorded? Savannah?
It was 29 students because I just counted it.
So we just count it out. So Jade, go ahead and count with us. Ready? 1,
2, 3, 4,
5, 6.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21,
23, 24, 25, 26.
27, 28, 29.
All right, Jade. How many students ran this mile and had their time recorded? 29. Bingo. All right. My next problem. Are you ready?
Yes,
Oh, that was weak. Are you ready?
Yes, we are!
How many students completed 4 laps in 16 minutes? This is going to be a speedy one. How many students completed this mile or 4 laps in 16 minutes? Ooh, Riley, the randomizer likes you today. What do you think? 16 minutes? 1, 2, 3, 4. Bingo. Nice
Or
work.
you could have just counted 2, 4.
Okay, next one.
Or you could have just counted 4.
Did more students complete the laps in 16 minutes or more? Or in 15 and a half minutes or fewer? Ooh. Did more students complete it in 16 minutes or more? Or 15 and a half and fewer?
It's easy.
I'll give you a minute for that one.
Wait, actually.
Did more students complete it in 16 or more, which would be 16, 16 and a half, 17, 7 and a half, or 18? So you're looking at this amount compared to my 15 and a half or fewer.
Oh.
Which one has more students in the group? 16 and more, or 16 and a half, or excuse me, 15 and a half and fewer?
That's easy. For a second, I only thought there's 20 because the right side only has 11. Because 8 plus.
Mr. Mallow, what do you think?
Wait, I think 15 and a half fewer.
I think you're right. Now, Eli, I have a question for you. Did you even bother counting all the dots, or did you just say, holy cow, that looks like way more dots on that side than on this side?
I just did.
Me too. How many of you did it that way? How many of you were very diligent mathematicians and you were counting up the dots to double check your work? That's smart. Let's double check here. So 15 and a half or fewer has 1,
2,
3, 4, 6, 7, 8, count with me, 9, 10.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18,
So there's 18
Emerson.
students that did it in 15 and a half or fewer. Versus 16 and more only has 4, 8, 9, 10, 11. Whew. Was Eli right?
Yeah.
You betcha. I ran out of time too.
Wait, then how is it?
My last challenge, so listen to the words carefully and think about what they're asking. Most students completed the laps between which two times? Most students completed the laps between which two times? So you're going to look for which time has the most, and then think about what are the two times on either side of that?
I know.
What is that in between? When you have it, you can put your hand on your head, and we'll see who randomizer selects. Most students completed the laps between which two times?
I already found it. It's 15 and 16. It's either 15 and a half and 18.
Dax, you get part one of my question. So part one is, what time did most students complete it in?
Um,
15 minutes has the most?
No, 15 and 15 and a half.
Okay, so Dax answered. Most students completed it in 15 and a half minutes. So my next mathematician is going to answer the question. That's in between which two times? So 15 and a half is in between.
I knew
What is
it.
that in between? Violet. 15 and a half is in between what two times? So here's 15 and a half. It's in between. It's in between 15 and 16. 15 and 16 minutes. Bingo. Nice work on this, guys. Here's what I'm thinking. I know I told you that it would either be one or the other if you did a great job. And you did do an awesome job. But looking at homework and remembering. The homework side has a line plot. The remembering side has a refresher on creating your own and looking at a frequency table. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have you do work on both sides, but we're still cutting it in half. You get to do odd numbers only. Which ones are you doing? That lets you skip stretch your thinking today, unless you really want to do an extra challenge. It would be, odd numbers would be 1, 3, 5, and that would be it for both sides.
You get extra
You ready?
graded if you do stretches.
Good luck.